Why so many American homes are flimsy. Seems okay. Now, I can appreciate the title of this one, that it doesn't say why every American home is flimsy, because I spent a lot of money on this house. Really don't want to have a crappy house, but I have seen your guys' homes, how thick your walls are. Mind-blowing. I don't know why we don't do that as well. I'm guessing just profit for the people that build the homes, but nonetheless, we're going to check out why so many American homes are flimsy, per your guys' request. I think we had a good time checking out that German home the other day, and this should be a nice follow-up to it. That means if you haven't seen that one, you got to go watch that one first. It was really good. All right, smash the like button. Let's dive in.
You can hear conversations through the walls, footsteps up the stairs, banging pots in the kitchen when you're across the house.
Everybody put a 1 in the comments section if you ever heard my kids screaming while you're watching my video. We try and cut it out a little bit, but man, it is just really bad sometimes.
It's just life in most American homes.
Yeah.
Walls are thin and the opposite of soundproof, and something always needs to be fixed. And most homes aren't even that old. There should be no excuse that they're falling apart. But why are they like this, especially?
I wouldn't say falling apart. You know what I have a problem with more than anything is my appliances. Washer breaks, dryer breaks, dishwasher breaks, garbage disposal breaks. I'm not even going to say the R word. Okay, now I have to say it because you guys are going to think I said retard. I meant refrigerator. Please don't break.
When other areas have sturdy, thick houses that last hundreds and hundreds of years.
The answer isn't just capitalism, so don't click off the video just yet.
It's actually a lot more complex,
okay,
and the solution isn't easy.
If you're looking for one quick thing to blame, you can look towards George Washington Snow.
In 1832, the civil engineer was tasked with building a Chicago warehouse as quickly as possible from the local softwood. So he got creative.
Okay.
Snow used 2x4s to assemble hollow walls, several stories high. The method let individual workers handle assembly, leaving only one person to nail it all into place. Snow completed the warehouse in record time. The method was called balloon framing, and it became the construction method of choice in Chicago. But balloon framing didn't take off until the 1940s, when America was experiencing a post-war boom period. More Americans had money than ever before, and they wanted the American dream, a house. They could suddenly afford to buy homes in sprawling new suburbs, and contractors knew they...
I love how they're still building houses like this, like so thin. They put these houses up, you guys. I'm not even kidding you. I gotta show you really quick. They put these homes up so damn fast. There's a neighborhood around the street from where I live. These right here. Look at these houses. I mean, they look like nice houses, right? They're white, they're black, they're very modern. I don't know, maybe you guys think they're ugly, but they go for $500,000, $450,000, $458,000. I kid you not, they put these homes up 3 weeks, maybe a month, built the entire damn thing. Tons of them. You can see there's 6 of them right here for sale. They put these things up so fast. It absolutely blows my mind. I mean, they're cool. For $450,000 though, it's like definitely thin walls. You can see how thin they are from the window frame right there. I mean, it's a nice house, but you're going to spend $3,500, $4,000 a month for this house. Anyway, I just had to show you that type of home they can build in literally weeks. Weeks.
They could make a killing if they could produce enough homes to satisfy the demand. Balloon framing and its successor, platform framing, allowed contractors to frame houses basically overnight. But there was something unique about balloon framing that made it only feasible in certain countries, like the US and Canada, and not in Europe.
Balloon framing requires a massive quantity of long, mature trees.
And America had an abundance of super tall, mature trees. Plus, it was an easy and cheap construction material for the newly growing suburbs. Wood is sturdy, yet flexible enough to withstand low-intensity earthquakes and tornadoes. If you want to hear about all of wood's good qualities, check out our video on the subject here. In Europe, wood is still incredibly expensive because so few forests remain, and what they do have is heavily protected. So the average...
I was going to say, I've seen some like massive forests over in Europe. They just don't do much lumbering. Like, what about like Norway and Sweden? Isn't there like a ton of wood up there? Or is it just all protected and you guys can't cut it down? Let me know. If you guys know, let me know.
European home is built with brick, stone, or concrete, and they're many centuries old. These materials can be sturdier and safer than wood. A concrete masonry wall has a, shocker, higher fire insulation property rating compared to a wooden frame wall. One of these concrete walls has a fire rating of around 4 hours till it's destroyed, as compared to a wooden framed wall, which only has a rating of around an hour. Insurance carriers also have long-term data suggesting that homes constructed of brick are less likely to be destroyed by natural hazards.
Yes. My home is brick.
And if saving money is your game, the U.S. Department of Energy estimates that you could save $340 a month or over $4,000 a year on heating and cooling if you live in a brick house over a wood one. It's estimated that losses from wildfires have added up to $5.1 billion over the past 10 years.
I think that number is way higher now. This was in 2021, and California pretty much like burnt down. Of course, not all of California, but last year the California wildfires burnt down the entire Palisades. It was some astronomical number, like billions of dollars in damage that was done. It's really sad for all those people, honestly.
Number made even more bloated by all the wood-framed houses.
Now, to be clear, wood isn't necessarily a bad building material.
I mean, take a look at the Fairbanks house in Dedham, Massachusetts. It's been standing since 1637. But in general, wood is harder to maintain. In fact, without maintenance, many houses won't make it to 30 years.
And to many Americans, that's just the right amount of time.
The U.S. Census says that the average American moves houses 11 times in their lifetime. That figure across 16 European countries? About 4 times. Since Americans are constantly moving their homes, they don't need them to last as long. They expect a semi-new home wherever they go because with the increased owner turnover, regular maintenance isn't normally done. It's easier just to rip it down
and build a new one
and start over fresh.
But why do Americans move around so much?
You can blame the job market. In America, it's much more common to hop around between companies. The opposite is true in the European Union. The World Bank reports that the median tenure of the average U.S. employee was 4 years, while the median tenure in the EU was 10 years.
Again, probably, I feel like these numbers have even gone down since kind of like the COVID era. It seems like a lot of people will go somewhere for like a year or maybe 2 years and then bounce off to the next job.
Part of that culture of constantly shifting jobs is moving to a new area to take that job, meaning you've got to move houses.
Yeah.
So, short story, blame George Washington Snow. Long story, blame the shifting U.S. job market.
Interestingly, we aren't the only country in the world to have famously flimsy houses.
We share that title with Japan, and they're actually
Japan
worse
has
than
them too.
us.
Houses in Japan depreciate like cars do in the US.
After 20 years, a Japanese house typically loses all of its value and is, on average, torn down just 30 years after being built. According to a paper by the Nomura Research Institute, it's a major obstacle to affluence for Japanese families. The collective waste is approximately an annual loss of 4% of Japan's total GDP.
Oh my gosh.
The total amount of new houses built in Japan every year is on par with the United States.
See, this is why we're building a barndominium. This is what we want to do. Yeah, like this right here. Obviously, I'm not going to spend $1.2 million on it, but these are barndominiums. Our friends are building one right now. You can see the outside, it's metal. obviously wood framing, but this is like the dream right here. Look at that thing. Holy cow. The crazy part is you can actually build barndominiums for like half the price that you can build a home for. So no more flimsy houses for me. Just a flimsy barn.
Despite having only a third of its population, which is shrinking every year. 87% of Japan's home sales are new homes, compared to only 11 to 34% in Western countries. Part of the reason for this is that the Japanese love new things. Their frequent and severe earthquakes make old houses, cheap wood frame houses from the same post-war boom we had, dangerous and without proper seismic reinforcement. It's considered futile to invest in their maintenance or try to improve them. That's especially reinforced, the Nomura Research Institute says, by concepts of impermanence in the Shinto religion. Take a look at Issei's Grand Shinto Shrine, a huge religious site that is rebuilt from scratch every 20 years.
Dang.
Unfortunately, it's very expensive when you apply that same principle to houses.
Americans wanted cheap homes to fulfill their dreams of home ownership after World War II. But the tricks that contractors used to make that happen have made it easy for us to view homes as disposable and unworthy of repair. But times could be changing. A recent trend that hasn't unseated wooden framing yet is modular or prefabricated homes. Modular homes are constructed in sections away from the building site and then put together on the property. But they're
How's this
actually
better?
framed with 8 to 10% more wood, so they're extra strong
Oh.
for transportation, and are designed to be sturdier than regular homes. Instead of nails and screws, walls are connected using joints and strong glues. It's a method that has become increasingly popular for making tiny homes, but hasn't managed to beat out balloon framing on the most important thing to contractors: price. Modular homes sell for less than regular homes, even though they can be slightly cheaper to make, so contractors avoid them in favor of more profit.
If Americans decided to stay
Yeah.
put in one home and invest in it, that might change.
But the cheap efficiency of wooden frame
We thought about getting a modular home and just like if I were able to, of course, it's far in the future, get a piece of property, put a modular home on it just so we have something to live in, or an RV, and then we can build the barndominium, but that's just more and more money.
framing and the
got it
necessity
like
of
that.
moving to advance one's career are hard lures to resist, especially when everyone else is doing it.
So I suppose you can really just blame it on trying to keep up with the Joneses.
Keeping up with the
How
Joneses.
many times have you moved in your life?
How many times have I moved in my life? Jeez. I lived in the house I grew up. I lived in the same house my entire childhood until I was 18. And then I moved out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is my 7th move. And we've been here for 5 years that we have no plans to leave it anytime soon. All right, that was a good one. Appreciate the recommendation, you guys. Learned a little bit about why our homes. That guy, what was it? John Washington Snow. Thanks, man, for ruining the American home building process. And thank you guys, for watching the video. Appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Bye.